is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
This season marks a new beginning. New heights will be reached. New records will be broken. A new champion will be crowned. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. You're watching the premier American Open Wheel Series on iRacing. The Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment starts now.
So far this season, the schedule has visited 6 road courses, and point leader Adam Blocker has won all but one. This afternoon, Blocker will try to make it 5 in a row on one of those twisty circuits. Presented by First Medical Equipment, it's the No Name Racing Grand Prix at Montreal, round 20 on the Lionheart IndyCar Season 6 championship schedule. And you can see all the simulated Dallara IR18 action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the global SimRacing channel via the iRacing Esports Network. Hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast and the Countdown to Green presented by the SimPit. As cyberspace flows into your place, over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the No Name Racing Grand Prix of Montreal that will immediately follow, as indeed we count down to green. With Richie Hearn on assignment, my old LIS partner Adam Young reunites with yours truly, Bill Soups, on to bring you our Word's Eye view. Amjad Yaman has director duties, armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Okay, Montreal saw its first appearance in the Lionheart Series in 2015 for Season 2. We saw Jesse Vincent win the inaugural running for this series. The series would not return here again until Season 4, when Jake Wright claimed victory here on this Canadian circuit. With neither Vincent or Wright here today, another first-time winner is a certainty. But Adam, this place is named after a great race driver, and it will take a great effort to get the win. Tell us a little bit about today's racetrack.
Yeah, of course, you mentioned great race driver. If you don't know anything about Gilles Villeneuve, go look it up. There's books on him. There's Wikipedia articles. Go look something up on him because he's amazing. Of course, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, located on Montreal in Montreal, Quebec, on the man-made Isle of Notre Dame, St. Lawrence River, and the area. A lot of people don't know this, but the area was used primarily for the 1976 Summer Games for long rowing and canoeing. So, hey, it has an Olympic tie to go to it with it. And then they ended up putting a racetrack actually on the island only 2 years later. Of course, we are running the standard Grand Prix layout here for it. I don't think iRacing has any other layout. I think in real life there's 1 or 2 little tweaks they do. But there's 13 turns at 2.71 miles, 4.361 kilometers. We're in for a great race here today. The Lionheart Retro Series put on a great race here a few weeks ago. Why don't we go ahead and take a lap, though, in that IR18 machine.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman of the GSRC IR18, so let's do a lap around Montreal. Down to the Senna S, while passing is possible, it's tough to execute because of the way it switches back into the hairpin. You'll want to be fully past your opponent to get it done. Drivers will have to bleed onto the power to avoid wheel spin, and then from there, you've got a short burst to 3. You'll want to avoid the temptation to take this one too hard because the exit wall is right next to the track. From out of there, 5 will easily be flat out, but you've got a hold of the right to line up for 6. The wake of the car ahead makes overtakes less common into here. Plus, it's better if you set yourself up for the exit off 7, which is another one which requires gentle throttle control. Now that we're on the Riverside Straight, you've got a much better chance to get by someone with this decently long straight and a heavy braking zone into 8. But the apexes of this corner have those tall white sausage curbs that'll send you bouncing around if you get too greedy. A good exit from the chicane will be important because this sends us down to Lapingle. This is the only corner you'll brake for that isn't a chicane, which makes drivers eager to get by here. But it's easy to overshoot it, and probably wise to set yourself up for a good exit. This backstretch along the rowing lake is the longest acceleration zone on the circuit, so it tends to see the most passing during the race. But if you've got to outbrake your opponent into the final chicane, be wary of either a cut course penalty or bouncing over those inside curbs. Also, don't forget the infamous Wall of Champions to the outside, which can end your race in a heartbeat if you smack it. From out of there, it's a straight run to the line, and hopefully you've now finished a lap around Montreal.
And of course, the track guide and all the countdown to green stuff here brought to you tonight, courtesy of the Sim Pit, an entertainment channel dedicated to sim racing. Its focus is to bring you news, reviews, and information from around the world about sim racing hardware and software. It also focuses on what it takes to be a better sim racer with instructional video and how-tos that will help your performance on the virtual track. Check it out at thesimpit.com. Soup.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Drivers' Championship now, presented by the good folks at First Medical Equipment. Keep in mind that these numbers take into account the 3 drop races allowed for in the rules. To put it simply, they are each driver's best 16 of 19 results. Hey, those 2 Adrenaline Motorsports driver, Adam Blocker and Andrew Havakech-Kinsella, are still close enough that it all may come down to the double point finale at Auto Club Speedway. But over the last 6 races, Dandy Dan Guerin has lived up to his nickname. Get this. He's got 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a pair of 5ths. Now, if the Synergy driver continues on this hot streak, he might get close enough to have a kind of a shouting interest in that final at Fontana. 8-Ball Motorsports' Michael Goodman holds station, as does 3-time winner Brian Yosick for Loud Pedal Motorsports. Let's go ahead and look at the team championships now. And of course, this is brought to you by the good folks at HPP Simulations. The IndyCar team championships you see out in front, well, Loud Pedal was 9th on the day at New Hampshire, and they fall 2 spots. And with Brian Yosick, not easy. With Brian, it's Brian Yosick here, but is Brian not easy being Greenlee? He's serving a 1-race suspension. So things are going to get a little tougher even for LPM. Yeah, how about Adrenaline Motorsports? They won the day last round, and they continue to be in first. You know, after losing a position to Control Chaos last round, Dragonfly got that back by passing Loud Pedal. All right, let's go ahead now and look at the Rookies Championship. We'll let Adam talk about that one.
Yeah, you know, of course, Justin Weaver, Larkamp, they've been swapping this rookie to lead here for a while, and right now, at least as we come into Montreal, we do have Justin Weaver on top of that. Of course, he saw him 5th on the leaderboard overall. And but you know, one thing though we always talk about, Stephen Larkamp, hey, road courses are his strength, so be expected maybe for him to maybe make another jump. I mean, this could probably swap positions a few more times here, Soup, before this season's out.
It has been a fun battle to watch. You know, this series is considered the premier fixed setup racing league for the Dallara IR18 on the iRacing service. The Lionheart IndyCar Series honors the memory of the late Dan Weldon. And now, that's right, it's time once again for Professor Slugnuff's Setup Corner. Now, this afternoon, I know what we're going to learn about. We're going to learn about KERS. That's the Kinetic Energy Recovery System. Professor?
Soup! You're a letter short. You're thinking about KERS. I'm talking about curbs. Curbs.
Oh.
Throw a B in there. Curbs today. Curbs today here with Professor Lugnut in the laboratory. And let me turn the laboratory off there for a second. And let me tell you, you know, over the course of the season, we've talked about suspension, dampers, tire pressures, all this stuff, you know, that helps the car stay on the track. Well, it also helps the car go over bumps. But what happens when the bumps get too big? You know, your street car, what do you try to do with the street car? You don't want to run into holes, right? Those upset the car. That can even cause a wreck if it's a pretty good-sized pothole. You try to avoid those. IndyCar drivers, though, on the other hand, they don't always try to do that. They don't always try to avoid the bumps in their way. In fact, in road courses, a lot of road courses, the sanctioning body, they put in these curbs. They put in raised curbs, slightly rounded, installed on the apex of the corners and also on the exits. But it didn't take long. They figured out how to combat that. They figured out how to use it to their advantage, guys. And what they did was they started clipping those curbs a little bit, and it would upset the car. It would help rotate the car, help the car turn. In fact, they started making setups that would specifically help them do this. Well, what did they do? Well, we said, all right, we've got another idea. Why don't we try to install different types of curbs? Some tracks put tires in to prevent it, but Montreal, they took a different course of action. They figured out this concept of the curbs is right. They just weren't big enough. So what did they do? They installed the Von Hansen's Meats sausage curb soup in 2 of the chicanes around the track. And if any driver, if they get on those and they clip them during a race, they're probably going to have trouble. And they're going to have trouble navigating those corners, especially. Combine those curbs with very, very little runoff here at Montreal. Even the best drivers are going to have trouble with that today if they hit those curbs, guys.
Hard to do in a Lionheart broadcast. Get those sponsors plugs in there whenever you can. I think the professor had the Bunsen burner and the beakers going full strength there. We're glad that good to have him with us here today.
Yeah,
all right,
what did they call those at the Circuit of the Americas for the F1 race here a couple of weeks ago? The first stopper. Stop.
I like that one. All right, since we talked about curbing, we've gone over the track, we've talked about the points. Let's go to something a little more straightforward. How about we have Adam talk about the race detail?
We could just keep talking about curbs for a while. I'll be okay with that. Hey, all right, so we're hitting season 6. Actually, we're almost done with season 6. I mean, where is 2018 gone? I mean, seriously, where has it gone? Working around 20 of 24. Of course, 3 drops there. I mean, they get 3 drops through the season. Delar IR18 is the car, and setups are adjusted, fixed. I mean, everybody's running the same setup here, and of course, they're all going for, over the course of the season, $6,402 in cash and prizes. So, obviously, a lot on the line as with the only 3 or 4 races left here after tonight. I can't do math. Not tonight.
4 races to go. Here's some more math for you. The prizes in this series are incredible. Not only are they giving away that prize amount that you just saw there, they just had a raffle earlier this week, or they're going to have it coming up, where they're going to give away either one of those HPP wheels or an HPP pedal set. This is incredible, this series. I love these guys. They take it very seriously. You know what's going on right now, though, is qualifying, and this is something you really need to take seriously at this place. Going to be hard to pass. Adam Blocker up in front. Now, here comes the newcomer that's been coming on fast, Connor Harrington. He's quick, but it doesn't have the results yet to show it, Adam. He's ran into trouble so far this season.
Well, I mean, that's watch Ed Tutwiler find himself a little bit in trouble, sliding that nose a little bit. It's of course. Obviously, there's going to be guys I'm going to be having my eye on too. I mean, Andrew Kinsella, always have my eye on Andrew Kinsella. Watching Joe Branch go around right now. He's shown some speed at times. Although I don't think that Montreal is necessarily his track. I mean, I still expect him to at least kind of put on a showing there, try to get some points out of it. I expect a good race. I mean, you think about this race just a couple of weeks ago, the Lionheart Racing Series, of course, the sister series here to the Lionheart Retro Series. That was a fantastic fight there. Sage Karam came out on top of that one, and that threw some surprises. And these IR18 soup, I mean, they're going to throw some surprises out here too.
We talked about that rookie battle, and no surprise that those rookies keep finding themselves. We're looking at Pierre Nightingale. Of course, he's the Canadian driver, speaks a little French. He's right at home up here. Talk about Stefan Larkamp and Justin Weaver, though. They sit 7th and 8th, respectively, on the grid. There's Pierre on his home track. Pierre sitting right smack dab in the middle of our field today, 14th position. A little bit above the halfway mark, as we have 31 drivers putting in qualifying times. 3 have yet to do that so far.
And we'll have to see if they actually do start rolling here in just a few minutes, of course.
A couple other new names to get used to. Mark Cohn sits in 18th position. He's in the pits right now. We have a few people that are not here today. Ian Adams, unfortunately. He's been put on the rest of the season probation. He was a little naughty there, and he had his incident levels were up. And we talked about Brian Greenlee's going to have to sit out one race. I tell you, the IRT guys missed their calling. They would have been great school teaching nuns right now. They are strict around here. They don't mess around.
Well, the French Canadians, why not?
That's right. Qualifying is just about done, so that means it's time to go racing. And when it is time to go racing, nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system from HPP Simulations, designed and manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment. HPP's hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, please visit hppsimulation.com. And now let's give you the HPP starting grid. We'll do it a row at a time. Well, it's the two front runners, Adam Blocker. He's going to be inside of Andrew Kinsella. Adam?
Yeah, next up, you're talking about him. Hey, maybe he'll have some good results here tonight. Connor Harrington alongside him, James Grahula.
He's been hot lately. Dandy Dan Guerin in fifth inside of Tyler Graff.
Hey, good look. 1 and 2 in the rookie standings, but in reverse order here, Stephen Larkamp on starting 7th, Justin Weaver starting 8th.
Michael Goodman flanked by Samuel Ryman in 10th.
Going back over to 11th position here for tonight, Brian Beard. He'll share row 6 with Isaiah Dupre.
Baker's dozen spot is Chris Sleepy Lanini. He's going to be sided by Pierre Nightingale.
Bob Mikas, Jason Galvin make up row 8.
17 and 18, Ron Hacker and Mark Cohn.
And then in row 10, we got Dustin Wardlow, Candyman, and then, of course, Bart Workman.
In blackjack, it's Scott Johnson. In the double duck spot, Matthew Mercer.
In row 12, you'll find Joe Branch and then series organizer George Inzaldo.
Quarter century mark goes to Joe Cadigan Flanagan. He's going to be inside of Paul Jenkins, making his series debut.
All right, then on the next row, we got Scott Bolster and then Tutwiler. Big field here tonight.
Like the next row, he's like Cher. They just call him Big Joe. It's Big Joe Hazard. Doesn't need a last name. Dylan McKenna in 30th.
And in 31st position, we're going to have Robert Bluen and then Brian Yasek starting alongside him.
Christopher and Tony Schowen go 33rd and 34th. 34 names on the entry list, 31 put in qualifying times as they're all out there on the grid right now. Let's go ahead and give you our onboard cameras. We have Ed Cutweiler in the butt kicker onboard camera. We have Pierre Nightingale in the lock precision onboard camera. And finally, it's going to be Dandy Dan Guerin racing in the familiar HPP onboard camera car. We'll tell you just how far they have to go when things settle down for a little bit. Pit stops are going to be interesting here. They might be able to two-stop this thing, but we think it's going to be a three-stopper. Gather at the chicken steak, cover me on the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Adam Blocker leads the stampede down into the first corner, making the move on the inside, getting sideways, diving from third position. That was Connor Harrington. My goodness, took it in deeper than Confucius in a submarine.
And we're going to have to go back and take a look at that here in just a few minutes, but definitely not the way that Connor Harrington wanted to start this race. Lots of action in the back, but so far, been able to stay off each other.
I hate to speak it into reality, but we talked about Connor Harrington. He is fast, but boy, he has trouble getting the car to the checkered flag. Blocker in front, Kinsella, Krujula, Guerin, and Graff make up the front half of your top 10. Larkamp, Weaver, the two rookies, Ryman, another rookie back there, Goodman, and Dupree in 10th. We dodged a bullet on that first one. Luckily,
man, we did. That could have been an easy four-car incident there, as watching Chris Lanini go a little bit wide there. But overall, I mean, everybody for the most part is trying to go single file. Still a little bit of people getting a little squirrely in the back end. Tutwiler has a problem getting off that last 90-degree turn. They're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch.
I'm watching that too. Tutwiler was stuck on the inside through the hairpin, had no corner exit, and they were passing him left and right.
Dylan McKenna almost gets into him here. Dylan McKenna actually has to go ahead and take the course cut here. He'll serve a penalty there, but better than the contact that it could have otherwise happened.
Okay, we're going to take a look at this lap run replay right into the first corner, the left-hander. You saw it, Adam. He just took it in hot.
He did. I mean, he just dove it in there. He's hoping for the best. I mean, just to kind of get that inside look on James Krahula. And he almost had Adam Blocker there as well, but just could not get it to stick.
We'll go on board with him now. He gets a great run. He gets around Kinsella. Whoa! Actually, he did a really good job of staying out of the way. You can see that he almost sacrificed himself. He turned it in. He knew he was in trouble. Didn't come back out in front of anybody. Oh, we have Beard right in the hairpin. He got into it with Pierre Nightingale. Boy, Dagla's trying to stay on the inside here, and Beard just didn't give him enough room. I'm not sure if he knew he was there. Pierre got a nose in, going into the hairpin, and then Pierre just waits for Beard to clear out of the way and keeps going. Dagla back to 13th. Come back live. Up front, no surprise. Blocker and Kinsella beginning to run away with it. They opened up about a second and a half. But look for Dan Garrett. He's up from 5th position now, up into 3rd as he worked his way around James Krahula. I told you, Garrett's been hot lately. 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 2 fifths his last 6 times out. Making up for a horrible start of the season.
You know why he's had horrible luck, right?
Why is that?
Green car.
He should know better.
Sip, do you know where that legend got started? I know it was way back, I think in like the 50s or 60s. Do you know how that got started?
Is that a rhetorical question, or are you going to tell me?
No, I honestly don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, I used to remember that. I know it started at Indy. I'm pretty... Well, I don't know that for sure, actually. Somebody look that up. We'll have that next round for you. Come back.
You can ask the professor that next time. Maybe he'll turn the lab down some.
You know what?
Why are green cars bad luck in racing?
If Professor Lugnut starts talking about liveries, we're in trouble. Let's look at this battle for 3rd right now. This is that green car of DeGuerin. Krahula right behind him. There's kind of a train going on. You got the 2 rookies, Larkamp and Weaver, back there in 5th position. Boy, that's a real good battle. And then Tyler Graff, the final car in that train, looking on from 7th. Adam, I know you don't cover this series regularly, but Tyler Graff is one of those drivers that just doesn't get enough. He never gets really into trouble. He gets good finishes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And, those are the kind of guys I like, because they're the ones that you is watching Tyler Graff. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to back off there before getting into Justin Weaver. But they're quiet. Yep. They're I always like to talk about the guys like this. I always like to bring up Terry Labonte. Back in the once the old Cup Series when he was driving, because you never talk about him during the race, but hey, in the last 50 laps, where did he come from? Oh no, he's actually been there all day. You just didn't notice until now, and that's Tyler Graff.
Let's look at 9th real quick. This is Michael Goodman under attack by Isaiah Cousin Dupree. Dupree really doing a good job pestering him. Boy, look how close he got as we right off the gearbox of Goodman. Now the accordion effect, you can see him start to pull away.
Hey, so wouldn't you know, the professor came through for us already. It actually started, I was off. It started in 1910 that the green car thing was bad luck. I guess Lee Oldfield, driving a green car in a race in 1910, mind you, New York State Fair in Syracuse. His car went off the track. Tragically, it killed a couple of bystanders. 10 years later, 1920, Gaston Chevrolet, brother of Louis Chevrolet, was killed in a crash during a race in Beverly Hills. And
Let me guess.
As the race goes, guess what color car he was driving?
In a green car.
In a green car, all right? So it just happens to be that people just took that to tonsil him in because green cars kept ending up in bad accidents, that green was bad luck.
Imagine how good Danica Patrick could have been if she would have been not in that GoDaddy car for half of her career. Looking at 13th position, that is Pierre Daigle. Now remember, Daigle fell back a little bit. He started in, well, look at this, pretty darn good. He started 14th. He's still up 2 spots, even though he got behind another car. And that's making a pit as Bob Mike is coming in for a curtain stop. Oh, another one, Samuel Ryman coming in. Okay, let's quickly, right now, since things are settling down, let's look at the race analysis. There's something I want to show you guys here. We are going on the distance here today, an interesting number, 47 laps. But look at that max fuel stint there, Adam, 15. You multiply 15 by 3, that gets you to 45. If you could do an extra lap, what's that mean? You could two-stop this thing.
And you know you're going to see some people try it. I mean, absolutely. I mean, why not? And that's probably what some of those guys that are coming in now are trying to think about. But I mean, that just kind of adds to the fuel strategy that sometimes comes into play here as you're watching Samuel Ryman and Dylan McKenna go at it here as Samuel Ryman came off pit road. Of course, Dylan McKenna kind of had a little bit of bad luck earlier, had to take a cut course penalty after trying to avoid some traffic, so he's kind of mired back there. You know, overall, I mean, clean race for a lot of these guys, but definitely some strategy with the early pit stops going on.
Yeah, if you think of it this way, you can go long stint, and then splash and go. Or you can do the mirror of that, splash and go, long stint. I got a hunch that's what Samuel Ryman kind of has the trick up his sleeve there. We're not going to forget about you, Sam. You're going to cycle out in 25th position. So far, I don't want to jinx anybody, but so far, so good. Everybody's still on the lead lap. Bart Workman took a pit stop.
Yeah,
Let's go to
11th
11th right now and look at it here. This is Workman coming out. Just going around him, Adam. That was Jason Galvin. But now he's got Pierre Knight and Daigle behind him, Chris Laniti. Oh, there goes Daigle underneath. A little bit of an elbow to get around Bart. Whew.
Bart's kind of seen a few elbows here so far today. A few of those guys in the back half, I mean, they've knocked a few times here.
Uh-oh, we got a problem.
Oh.
Matthew Mercer was racing in 19th position at the time of that spin. Right in front of Joe Branch and Brian Yasek. Doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, that looks like turn 6 there. Maybe coming out of turn 7 when the back end broke loose on him. Soup, and that might be a problem area here to watch out for the rest of the day. I've seen a few guys try to have trouble keeping the back ends underneath them, going through that section of corners. Bart Workman was one of those, and that's actually, if we look at Bart Workman again at any time soon here later on in the race, it looks like right now it's fixed, but he did have some rear wing damage, and it was because he ended up getting loose in the same place that Matthew Mercer did, except he caught the back end of the car as opposed to the front end.
Looking at Bart Workman. I'd like to go to 19th position. I'm not going to call him a hard charger. I'm going to call him a big sandbagger. This is Brian Yasek. Didn't put in a qualifying time. Started at the back. He's in 19th. Do the math. I think that's 13. Uh-oh. Scott Johnson. Little loop. Is that the same corner? That's the same corner that we just saw the other incident in.
So prophecy ends up being right there a little bit. I hate that, but
yeah,
I guess I think the guys just have to be a little easier. We got Tutwiler sitting across the street. Of course, Dylan McKenna just T-bone.
Oh my goodness, Topweiler. Oh, not going to be able to bury him in a Jewish cemetery. He got tattooed.
Yeah, and that same location too. Back in, steps out, and I think that was Tony Schoen that got into the back of him too. There, just grazed him. But Dylan McKenna is actually the one I think gets the worst of that. Of course,
Dylan's
Dylan.
got to be thinking there might have been room to go. Dylan, I don't think there was enough room.
In fact, Dylan just parked it. Unfortunately, I think he just decided the damage was just too much, so he's taking a tow. That's a shame because, as I've pointed out in many broadcasts before, Dylan McKenna has my favorite colored car out there. I mean, the thing is,
absolutely,
it's different. It's definitely different, but I like it.
It's great for me. I'm colorblind. I just choose a color. I know I'm going to get part of it right.
There you go.
Scott Bolster coming in for a stop. All the guys who are stopping are pretty far back in the order. Nothing going on up front. You might want to wonder what's going on up front. Well, it's pretty much the story of the season. Really encapsulated here in one race. It's Blocker ahead of Kinsella.
Yeah, Blocker's just been very slowly pulling away from Andrew Kinsella. It hasn't been by leaps and bounds, but except for that last lap, apparently, they almost have a second pit time difference. But while that's been going on, Dan Guerin was fighting quite a bit with James Grahula, and I have to wonder if Dan Guerin was focusing maybe just a little bit too much in his rearview mirror at James back there, while those top two just continue to drive away. But of course, now the distance is separated between them a little bit more, and well, he doesn't have that to worry about. He just has cars like Matthew Mercer. He has to try to get around here.
Mercer racing in 31st, one lap down. Thank Grahula. If we can drop back one, we're riding here on board of Grahula. Let's stay on there. Looks how he negotiates the slower traffic. Hey, Matthew does a good job of taking a wide line through the hairpin. That's how we teach it at the Back Markers United meeting. Well done, Matthew. A bear claw for you next time. Now, you can see those two cars behind Mercer there. That is our two rookies, Larkamp and Weaver. They've been nose to tail the whole time. The Moby Dickie's car of Weaver has been just kind of peeking left and right behind Stephen Larkamp. Both these drivers know there's pit stops to go. Nothing needs to be decided now on lap 11.
Yeah, speaking of pit stops, Tyler Graff is coming down pit road right now, so I think he's going to go out and play a little of that strategy himself.
I would expect him to get out in front of Samuel Ryman. Ryman was the leader of all the cars who pitted before that time. Graff getting in. Ryman just going to the wall of champions now, though, so it might be close. Graff is rolling. And indeed, he does get out in front of Ryman. Not by much. They got the car of Ed Tupweiler between them. Tupweiler a lap down, not for position. Graff cycles out in 17th, leader of all the cars that pitted. Pitting on lap number 10 for Graff. Adam, I guess he's going to do it in nice, even segments.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I wouldn't be surprised maybe you've seen even more of your front runners trying to come in here in a little bit. Of course, some of them might try to take that short stop maybe a little bit closer to the end. So, lots of play out. You got a lot of wiggle room for whatever it is you want to do. I mean, you can do it completely based on how your car's feeling on track.
All right, Connor Harrington comes in. Remember, Harrington qualified in third position. He'd fallen way back after that early spin. Isaiah Dupree coming in as well. Car we're looking to see if he can get around. Tyler Graff. Tyler through the wall of champion right now, heading down the front straight. You see him coming right at you. Harrington rolling, but Graff goes by. Oh, I got to be careful. He went by. I forgot where I am. He went by, but I forgot that there's a left-right, and pit exit does not have one. Harrington out in front first. They fooled me. Harrington now in 14th, the leader of all the cars who've pitted. My goodness, though. He's got Brian Yazek ahead of him. Now, Yazek's been moving his way through the field. And Ron Hacker in 12th. This is a nice little battle. Connor knows he doesn't have to force the issue as Yazek doing a little bit of blinking because they're going to have to come in and make that stop pretty soon. Harrington in no mood to wait for the pit stop as he makes quick work of Connor. Brian.
He wants to try to be able to make up those spots as fast as he can from what happened there on the first lap. So he'll be hungry here, I think, the entire rest of the race. And he almost has to be.
Yeah, he's coming up on the back now of Ron Hacker. Hacker decides to solve that problem as he comes in, as does Brian Yazek.
Red car behind them coming in. That was George and Zaldo coming in as well.
Let's throw a few more names in there. Chris Lanini and Ron Hacker. Brian Yazek, George and Zaldo all making pit stops. Not our leaders. Adam Blocker, 6.7 seconds ahead of Andrew Kinsella.
Of course, the beauty about being up front, as much as they are, is they don't have to judge their strategy based on what anybody else is doing. Just watch Adam Blocker come in right now. I mean, he can pretty much do his own thing. And the same with Andrew Kinsella. Let's see if Andrew here, he wasn't able to come in that time. I bet he comes in next time.
If any driver has a reputation of being able to nurse a fuel tank, it is Andrew Kinsella. And I start to wonder, as he is now, oh my goodness, that's Tony Schowen. Did he just get out of the way? No, he had a little spin. Oh wait, we have contact with the pit exit. Schowen got into it with the pit guy coming out of the pits. Yeah, Tony Schowen got together with the red car, and that was George and Zaldo. And Zaldo coming out. We didn't talk about it in the pre-race. Pit exit can be a bit of a problem here. There's Schowen, mind his own business. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in the Lionheart Retro Series a few weeks ago, where we had an incident on pit exit too. I mean, so it's just when you're coming out of there out of turn 2. I mean, it gets tight.
Is Amjad Yaman the best director in the business? Does he find the perfect camera angle? My goodness, that one made me jump as George Anzaldo came right into the camera. Boink. All right, our leader has pitted. Adam Blocker has come in. He cycles out in 4th position. Pitted on lap 13. Kinsella coming in. So much for the two-stop strategy. I was kind of hoping Andy was going to try to stretch it because he had such a slow pace.
Yeah, and Michael Goodman and Justin Weaver also coming down pit road.
Well, it'd be Pierre Daigl's time to come in, and he does that indeed. Candyman, last to pit. Nope, he's going to come in too. That's just about everybody.
Yeah, I think everybody's number got called that last time. Even Jason Galvin coming down pit road. Dustin Morley, Kinsella's on his way out.
Kinsella comes out 4.5 seconds. Oh my goodness. This is news. Kinsella is am I reading this? No, that's right. It's 4.5 seconds ahead of Guerin and about 8.5 behind Blocker there. Got my lefts rights confused there for a minute, folks. Adam, in the Civil War, when they had soldiers, the soldiers didn't know left and right, so they gave them straw and hay to put in their shoe, and they would march instead of saying left, right, they say straw foot, hay foot. A little bit of trivia for you.
I've actually heard that, but...
Uh-oh. This is a punt. Oh my goodness, this is really ugly. This involves many cars. Beard, Lanini, Cone, and Bob Mikas. It starts with Cone getting hit by Beard. And then Mikas and Lanini are 3rd and 4th to the scene. Right on board with Vaughn Hansen's meat machine. Don't bruise the meat.
Well, His car definitely got bruised in that one, so I don't think that worked out too well. Front wing is all twisted up. He definitely hurt pretty bad. Mark Cohn, though, got the worst of it. I mean, he's missing half his front wing right now.
Professor Lugnuts was on his game with the Von Hansen sausage curbs. I like that. Let's go to 16th real quick, Director. This is Bob Mikas. Actually, he surrenders the spot as he lets Brian Yazik go by. Well, with the pit stops done, let me quickly run you through the top half of the field here. Adam Blocker, boy, he's doing it again. 10 seconds up on Andrew Kinsella. There he is. Kinsella just going through the hairpin now. He's got about 5.5 seconds. We'll just continue showing coming at you to Garen. Now, Garen's got a little bit of work to do here as he trees between Paul Jenkins, and he's already got around Matthew Mercer. Garen's got to hustle because it's not that far back to James Krahula. Oh, that was Krahula going right over the camera right there, bouncing over some of those Von Hansen sausage curbs.
You just like saying sausage curbs, don't you?
I do. It's making me hungry. Now you go back and you look at the driver in 5th, Connor Harrington, working his way around Bart Workman, who's in 26th. Our rookie, Stefan Larkamp, he races in 6th. He's put some distance and vehicles between him and his rookie challenger, because no longer behind him is Weaver. It is now Michael Goodman in 7th. Let's stay on Goodman here for a minute as he tries to negotiate around Mercer. Goodman can't be too slow because it is the Moby Dickey's car of Justin Weaver back there in 8th, trying to look to the outside. This will be fun. Matthew Mercer doing a good job making his cars easy to pass as an ink blot test. Right on board with the Moby Dickey's car of Justin Weaver in 8th. They head up to the Wall of Champions. And he doesn't get too close to it.
You have to wonder if somebody will get too close before the end of the night, though.
I'm going to run down the rest of your top 10 here. Tyler Graff, a car off in front of Tyler Graff. That is indeed Matthew Mercer. Mercer brings it back on. Tyler Graff in 9th. He's got about 2 seconds back to Samuel Ryman. Made that early stop. Sam qualified in 10th. Currently racing in 10th. And there's your top 10.
Soup, talking about the Wall of Champions there, turn 14 in particular. One thing I've been noticing, it seems like as the race goes along, we start seeing more and more rubber put down there on the exit of 14. I'm starting to see a bunch of guys now. They really have to be easy on the throttle coming out of that corner and going down the front straightaway because their back ends are trying to step out. And usually the Wall of Champions will catch your front end. I'm worried about people stepping out and catching their back end, messing up their rear suspension and wing. Hopefully we don't see that happen tonight, but I'm watching it as a possibility.
Well, for a track that is notorious for its attrition, it's not living up to its reputation. The only driver who's not racing is Dylan McKenna.
Well, and actually here, Soup, in the last few minutes, been able to add Brian Beard and Mark Cohn to that list also. That literally happened, I think, as you started that sentence.
Working lap number 19 of 29.
I mean, still, that's 3 cars out of 34 that started this race. So we still got 31 guys out there. So there's still a lot of cars in the mix for a Circuit Chill Villeneuve race for sure.
talked about as we look there at the nice battle going on. Not quite sure who that is we're looking at there. If I can pick up a clear number. Oh, it's Dagla. There we go. This is a nice battle. Dagla and Wardlow. Let's not press our luck. Let's go ahead and do our spotlighted driver here, Dustin Wardlow. Bring him up. This is what we can do in GSRC. You'll get to see him racing live and then a little bit of a slow motion look out of there. Look at that. 41 starts. He's got himself a win. Same place where he got the pole. I believe that was at Motegi. I'll have to check my records on that one if I remember right. A couple top fives. His first race, Homestead, last season. Season opener. And I am correct. Motegi Road Course earlier this season. Yes, now we talked about Ryman in 10th. Remember, I was going to talk to you about it was time for him to make his pit stop. He made that early splash and fill. So now he has made his second stop.
I'm looking at Bob Mikas coming down pit road here. He's missing even more of his front wing, so, or at least it looks like it on my end. But I think he had a wall brush, so I don't know if this is scheduled or not. We'll see if what happens here. Wheels go up.
Well,
body panels come back.
Yep. Mikas was involved, I believe, in that call. He
was. He was. And here in the last lap and a half or so, though, he did have a brush with the wall again. So,
well, let's check in. Oh, here comes a pass. The yellow car on the inside. That is Krahula. On the outside, that's the man who's quick. He does a much better job negotiating that corner than he did on lap 1. I'm talking about Connor Harrington. Move him up to fourth.
Man on a mission.
He is indeed. Just over 5 seconds to get up to Dan Garrett. Check in on our hard charger. We talked about Brian Yazek doing well. Another guy who's making a nice run is Chris Stouffer. He's in 21st position right now. Another driver who did not put in a qualifying time. Started in 33rd, up 8 spots. Nobody around him. He's got a couple seconds to get up to the next driver. That's a nice little battle. Let's go up and look at 18th position, Director. This is 3 cars up. Scott Johnson, Joe Branch, and George Anzaldo in a nice little 3-car fight. Maybe we can stay on this one for a while instead of jumping around so much. Let the viewer get a little idea what it's like to watch a battle going on. Johnson up in front in the 07 machine. Very good race so far. Nice and clean. We haven't lost too many. Johnson, a veteran of the series.
And of course, that's the battle on the racetrack right now. I'm looking for other ones, and that's as close as they get right now, Sue.
Scott making his 26th start this race. Having a nice run. Here he comes. This is Adam Locker coming up to put a lap around these guys. Yikes! Oh my goodness, he was trying to get around Anzaldo, and George is going to take the wide road.
Well, while that was going on, Connor Harrington's decided he's going to go ahead and make his run down pit road here. So And he was running pretty good lap times in comparison. Maybe not so much to Adam Blocker, but to Andrew Kinsella and Dan Guerin. So we'll see what he can do after his pit stop here when he get fresh tires on and Tyler Graff coming in.
It's Graff doing what he does, having another good race, not causing any trouble. Oh, we have a car that's off there in the grass. Looked like it was Galvin.
Yeah, coming out of turn 3, just a little bit of a wheel hop coming off the curb and slid it off into the grass. I mean, other than lost time and hurt feelings, but that was about it.
So the leader of all the cars who've made 2 stops, Connor Harrington, racing in 11th. We're on lap 23. This is right where business should get busy in pit lane. And there's our leader. And just keep getting larger and larger, the interval now, up to 13 seconds on Kinsella. The only thing that's going to slow him down is lap traffic. Pretty good battle for 6th position. Let's check in on Weaver. Michael Goodman is slowly beginning to run him down. Weaver's got the lapped car of Scott Johnson in front of him. Weaver's been having a hard time getting that Moby Dickie's car around Johnson. And that's one way to get it around. Oh boy, Scott almost put it in the wall, leaving room. And there goes Michael Goodman underneath him as well, so Goodman makes the pass. That battle will continue for about 0.6 of a second. Both those drivers still need to make a pit stop. You all know that familiar Dodger blue car. Adam Blocker makes his stop. Andrew Kinsella inherits the lead. Krahula pitting from 7th position. Here they come. Here they come. Cousin Dupree, Isaiah. Krahula's out. Oh my goodness. Look at Krahula. This is for position. He comes right out alongside of Connor Harrington. Harrington gets the best of him. They're behind Jason Galvin. Now, Galvin has yet to make his stop, I think. Yes. But that's not the case for Harrington and Krahula. Also in the mix, Pierre Degla in 10th. Degla has yet to make that second stop. And the Candyman Dustin Wardlow still needs to make that stop again. So let's watch Harrington work on Galvin. Oh my goodness, right up on the gearbox. A little bit of a squiggle from Connor. Into the hairpin, Connor looks in there, almost gets into the back. Is Krahula. Krahula's gonna totally miss his apex because of that. We'll take another look at this one. Now, Connor Harrington's the car in the middle. Look at Krahula come in, dive in, could not turn in, could not dive it in deep, gets a horrible exit, has to take the wide road around the hairpin. And as we come back live, Harrington has yet to get around Galvin. Galvin out of Bakersfield. They grow hard in Bakersfield. It's rough country. A lot of cactus and tumbleweed and yucca plants out there. I don't know if any of those plants are out in Bakersfield, but you get the idea. A lot of sagebrush, oil wells. It's a man's town. That's how Jason Galvin's racing right now. Ducking to the inside. Here's comes Connor Harrington. And Connor is a goner as he gets around. Oh my goodness, and Galvin loses a lot of momentum. Have a catch! Our leader, Andrew Kinsella, coming in. That's gonna... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, that car that you see behind him coming in, that's George Zaldo, but Andrew Kinsella already away.
Moving up now into second position is Stefan Larkamp, the Pennsylvania student. Still waiting for him to make his stop, along with his rookie competition, Justin Weaver. They currently race second and fourth, separated by Kinsella on the track. There's the Moby Dicky machine. Everyone watching at Moby Dickies, tip your waitress. Justin Weaver in third. With 19 cars on the lead lap, let's look at the battle for 10th position. Pierre Nightingale. He's got Jason Galvin ahead of him. He's got the Candyman, Dustin Wardlow, right behind him. You may want to ask about pit strategy here. What cycle are they on? They all need to make a stop. Would not be surprised if they don't come in this time. We'll see if Jason keeps going straight or if he's going to take the Wall of Champions. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Daigle makes a pit stop. Can we get a rewind on Pierre Daigle? Can we get an onboard camera for this? This will be fun here. We get a closing. What happens on this is pit entry is a straight dive, Adam, right into the pit lane. But it's kind of in the braking zone. Watch this. As Galvin's braking to make the chicane, Daigle is not going to have to brake. Whee!
It's like one of those ones where you're like, please turn, please turn, please turn. Well, that was going on too. Stephen Larkamp pitted in from 5th position, so that should be. I think they'll have to make one more from here. But
Yep.
he has been.
And after Larkamp makes his stop, Justin Weaver, his rookie rival, coming in as well. This might be fun to see how Larkamp, we expect him to be able to get around Weaver. There's Michael Goodman pitting right behind. And now Larkamp is through the Wall of Champion, just going across the start-finish line. There's Weaver actually rolling, but Larkamp is into corners 1 and 2 now. But right behind him, there he is, Justin Weaver. They are separated by about 15 car lengths, a little more momentum to Larkamp, but we got ourselves a battle for 6th position between the two rookies. Remember, the director showed you Michael Goodman making that stop right behind Weaver? Well, Goodman back there in 8th, looking on. He can yell at him. Looks like everybody now has made their stop. We're still waiting for Tony Schowen to do his, if he's actually still out there racing. Let's check. Yeah, Schowen's got, he's out there in 26th position. Tony here has got to lap 28. Always got to look for somebody who's maybe trying to one-stop it. No, he would have to be at lap 32 to actually, one stop, in this case, 2-stop this race.
So about a lap or so ago, Ryan Yazik found the wall of champions.
There you go.
He's still out there, but car doesn't look terribly hurt, but he definitely got into that tire barrier there in the wall of champions.
There's Brian Yazik in the familiar HPP colors. Oh, look at that left front wing. Get a little extra downforce the way that thing's bent up. We were looking on at the pass that was made there by the Candyman a few minutes ago. Dustin Wardle got around Pierre Nightingale. That was for 13th. Degla not giving up, though. Degla in the citrus-flavored car. Wardlow in his familiar... Well, no, it's not the Dwarves Candy Machine. I guess he only races that in the 79 series.
You just want to see candy. It's okay.
I do. Let's take a look at fourth position. Nice battle going on here. This is Harrington and Krahula. They head down in there. Harrington, remember, Harrington just got around a little bit, that pass up into fourth now. Krahula having a nice run.
Looking at Connor's lap times, and ever since that last pit stop, he really hasn't been running as fast as what he was before, while Krahula's been running a little bit faster. So, wanted to see if Krahula can get back up underneath the rear wing of Connor Harrington here over the next few laps.
Harrington having that nice run. Let's go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors, and that's Butt Kicker. If you're a sim racer looking to add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism to your session, Butt Kicker is the way to go. A Butt Kicker moves actual mass, producing a haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. See all the family of Butt Kicker products at thebuttkicker.com. Use the promo code LION20 to get 20% off your order. There's Ed King Tutwiler in our Buttweiler, our Butt Kicker onboard camera. Ed back there racing in 25th position.
I feel like a Budweiser mock scheme coming up now with that new nickname you just gave Ed. He can have Andrew Kinsella make it for him.
Absolutely. Checking in on 6th position. Well, the racing gods, aren't they funny? They are just a fickle little bunch of deities, aren't they? As they put together our two rookies here, Larkamp and Weaver. Fickle bunch of deities. I'm not sure if those words have ever been put together in a race broadcast before. Larkamp in 6th.
Well, we always knew that if it was going to happen, you'd be the one to do it, Sue.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
I like it, though. Oh, George and Zaldo once again taking the escape route, if you will, with Connor Harrington coming up behind him. James Krahula clear him as well.
There, we're looking at George. Sitting in the black jet spot right now. Lap down. Let's check back in on 6th again. They're coming up behind Tony Schowen. This might be the Moby Dickie's chance here. Schowen, oh, sure enough. Oh, but Weaver had to wait. He had a good run. He just ran out of tarmac. That is Larkamp up front. Now they come up behind George and Zaldo. We just talked about him. George's going to keep that racing line. 1, 2, they both clear. This is a good battle. Not that far behind is Michael Goodman. Remember, these guys came out of the pit. Larkamp got out front, and Weaver got right behind him. And then Goodman was right behind Weaver as well. Weaver tried his best to get up to these two rookies. Oh, man. Adam, they get so close to the wall out of that chicane.
They do. There's a reason it's called the Wall of Champions. It's because all the champions have nailed it before at one time or another. Ooh,
oh!
Look at Larkamp and Weaver. Ooh.
Weaver taking the Connor Harrington racing line into the first corner. Well, remember Samuel Ryman pitted like lap 3, and then he came in again in lap like 16? Well, lap 34. Early bird catches the worm, Ryman in one more time for his final time. He's been racing just inside the top 10. And there's pit exit. He has no traffic. Let's check back in on 6th position again. This is where the action is. They're coming on behind Ron Hacker. And now it is a 3-car battle as Michael Goodman has indeed made it a partie de trois. See how I used a little French there since we're in Montreal? Ron Hacker in 21st, the lead car in this train.
You know, it is why they try to look for a way to get around Ron Hacker as Larkamp kind of dives in a little hot. They really are starting to feel the pressure from Michael Goodman. I mean, Michael Goodman's now right almost underneath that rear wing there, Justin Weaver. And I think all 3 of them here will clear that car, Ron Hacker.
Goodman loses a little bit of time. This is the best battle on the track. Go ahead, Adam.
Guys, the next car that they would have in front of them, at least right now, is James Kahula, and he's like 6.5 seconds up in front of them. So they got clear racetrack now to figure out who's going to be the fastest car here. But it's a 3-horse battle right there for 6.
We don't need to go there. There's another battle we were looking between Harrington and Krahula. Krahula about not really a pitching wedge. He's like a hard croquet hit away from Harrington. And there we go, Connor Harrington coming in for his final stop. Bringing that number 44 machine into pit lane. He's being followed in there by Brian Yazek. Okay, boys. Which one wants to take the least amount of fuel here? Harrington is in. And Yazek, I apologize. I thought Yazek was following him in. Yazek was had already made a stop. Brian is down in 20th position. I thought that was a battle for position. I am wrong. Blocker, our leader, making his 3rd and final stop, hopefully, for Blocker fans. Brings that 74 right at you. And for good measure, he's followed by Andrew Kinsella. Dandy Dan Guerin's going to stay out. No points for leading a lap. But you do get a little screen time. And I apologize because I don't think Guerin's actually going to lead this lap as Blocker is out in front of him. Where the heck is Kinsella? He finally comes out. So many cars between him and the leader. Two cars right in front of Kinsella there. Well, actually, one car in front of Kinsella. Let's look at Kinsella. He's right on the back of Michael Goodman. Oh, not anymore. Kinsella gets Goodman and Mercer.
I think everybody just recognized who it was behind him and just said, please go on ahead, sir.
Not sure if Kinsella's going to get the same kind of politeness from the next two, because it's Larkamp and Weaver.
Yeah, and they've been going at it tooth and nail here. And like they pretty much have left Michael Goodman in the dust. I mean, lap traffic helped out a little bit with that, of course, as you get around another car there. It's Ed Tutwiler. And so that actually breaks him up a little bit. So if Kinsella can get up to him here in the next lap, he might have an easier time with it. But otherwise, if he gets back to him when they're fighting, they may not be so keen to let him by. Easily, anyway.
Now, I would almost think that maybe, I don't want to tell Justin Weaver how to strategize a race, but he needs another stop. Maybe Weaver could come in and try to hot lap it. I don't know. I think Weaver's faster than Larkamp right now. This Larkamp is a kidney stone. He's just hard to pass. They put a big gap between them and Goodman. Next car coming to him is going to be Kinsella.
Dustin Wardlow is just stopped on track, trying to see what happened to him.
Oh, it looks like turn one got him.
I think the problem was back before that, going back over to 14, he drove right over top of one of those curbs. I don't know, maybe it did some damage he wasn't liking or what.
Not sure if
he's back moving again, though.
Not sure if we're going to be able to find that one. He is down to 13th position. Now look at this one. We missed one. Harrington, remember, was chasing Krahula. Krahula was chasing Harrington. Not anymore. After the pit stops, Krahula is out in front. Not surprising to see Krahula benefit from a pit stop strategy. Now let's see if he can turn his strategy into pace.
Paul Jenkins and Pierre Daigle just got into it too, so that's the first little bit of contact we've actually seen here in a little while. I think everybody's going to be able to continue.
Oh yeah, Daigle got a little bit of a hip check. He's going to have to take a slowdown penalty. That happened right in front of our leader, Adam Blocker. Okay. Go on board with Daigle. And a little bit of a... Ow! You go that way. And then Adam Blocker pulls right up. There goes Blocker, the familiar blue car. You saw him go right by. Okay. Now, Kinsella has got around Justin Weaver, and that's dropped the Moby Dickey's machine off the tail of Larkamp. Larkamp now in second. Is that right? I guess so. Yeah, because that's Kinsella now in third. Of course, Larkamp and Weaver still need to make that stop. Michael Goodman has lost contact with the two rookies.
But going back to Kinsella, excuse me, not Kinsella, Krahula jumping Harrington there. He didn't just jump him. I mean, he's like, world record triple jump distance now away from Harrington. I mean, that I know Krahula's great with his pit stop strategy, but man, that's a big gap. I don't think Harrington's gonna be able to overcome that by the time this race is over.
right on board the wire cam here, the drone cam. There's Krahula. The driver all by himself is car number 14, Pierre Degla. He's the leader of all the cars one lap down. Take a look at the onboard camera of Pierre Degla, and we'll talk about this onboard camera that he's racing there. And that would be Lock Precision. For over 30 years, the name Lock Precision has been synonymous with mid to high-powered rocketry. Lock Precision manufactures a full line of high-quality precision fit components to satisfy the Major Tom inside of you. Be the man they think you are at home at lockprecision.com. Fly hard, fly safe, fly lock. Kinsella is in 4th position now. Oh, that's because Justin Weaver got around him. This is a little bit of a faux pass here, but Kinsella got loose. Good catch, and another good catch. Larkamp has come in, and sure enough, okay, well, I suggested that Weaver come in early. Weaver's going to try it the other way. He's going to run long. He's got nobody in front of him. The guy behind him is Andrew Kinsella. Right now, Justin Weaver, who I thought was faster than Stefan Larkamp, out there hot lapping. All this going on behind Adam Blocker, who has an 18-second lead. But Adam, they don't pay by the amount you win. Doesn't matter if you win. It's Blocker and Kinsella going 1-2. The points are the same whether you win by a second or a minute.
Of course, keep letting him running around. It might just be a minute.
All right, let's look at Weaver. Weaver's got to come in this time. He's got to be just about out of fuel. That tank is empty as a syrup bottle after a pancake social. He does come in. So what are we going to do, fans? You know what we're going to do. We're going to try to pick up Stefan Larkamp. Just out of the hairpin now, heading down towards that chicane. Can the Moby Dickie's machine do the undercut? Larkamp was in his box for 6 seconds that last stop. Weaver is rolling. Okay, now this is where Larkamp goes by, but here comes Weaver, not going to be able to get there. They come out in the same position. Wait a minute. Am I right? Weaver jumped him. I apologize. I got confused looking at Goodman. Weaver did the undercut. There you go.
Larkamp, in the process of it, though,
Goodman, yeah.
As you say, in the process of it, though, he almost kind of ended up in a little bit of a hornet's nest right there, though.
There it is. So Weaver up to 5th. Weaver in his box. Well, yeah, 6th position. I apologize. Weaver in his box for 5.3 seconds. Larkamp was in there for 6. Goodman in there for 7. And those are the real positions now, as everybody has made their final stop, except for the man who's always late to class, Tony Schowen. Still working on his 2nd stop. There's Stefan Larkamp. the risk of becoming Chicken Little and the sky is falling, you got to wonder now, does Weaver have enough gas to get to the end? Riding on board with the Pennsylvania student. Looking up at Joe Branch, racing in 19th. Branch in a battle with the car in front of him. That's Chris Stouffer. This guy's one lap down, fighting for 18th position. Camp doesn't care.
Ooh. And Scott Johnson, also fighting for position out of that group too, drove it in there really hot. So you got two groups, one group of cars with two groups of drivers fighting for two different positions on different laps. Yeah, that almost sounds like a multi-class race.
It does.
At that point.
Stouffer in 18th. Larkamp in 7th. Branch in 19th. Goodman in 8th. Johnson in 20th. And now, Larkamp does negotiate around Stouffer, so Stouffer and Branch back together again. Goodman stuck behind him as Larkamp drives away. Riding off the back of Stouffer. Both these guys veterans of this series. Stouffer today is making his, let's see how many starts Stouffer has made in his career. Stouffer making his 77th Lionheart IndyCar Series start. Well, that's a lot. It's a lot of Wednesday nights. Obviously not a Survivor fan.
Is that what's on Wednesday nights?
That's right. Okay. Adam Blocker has a 21-second lead, working through the wall of champion the final time. And he is shown the white flag. "22 seconds ahead of Andrew Kinsella." And while he'll open up his point lead a little bit more on Have a Catch, probably not enough to get Andrew out of the mixes. Remember, double points, season finale. 4 races from now at Auto Club Speedway. A lot of racing between now and then, though. Blocker working the back half of the track. Got the St. Lawrence River to his left. And as he works the hairpin, now he's got the St. Lawrence River to, well, on both sides of him for that matter. Yes, it is an island. And pretty much Adam Blocker has been on an island, as there has been nobody challenging him today. Just 2 more corners to go, the right and the left. And let's give round number 20, the no-name Grand Prix from Montreal, to Adam Blocker. Sometime this week, Adam Kinsella will be coming across the line in second.
Oh, here, leading onto the back straightaway, Chris Lanini just got into Brian Yazik and turned him around.
We'll take a look at this one. This was for position. Gosek in the blue car, Lanini in the blue car. On board Lanini. Ooh. Gosek a little squiggly getting the power down. Maybe a little bit of net code.
Yeah, Lanini ended up giving him the position back. It's a gentleman's move there. So we'll score Gosek in 15th and Lanini in 16th.
Okay. As everybody now has come across, which means the racing is over. But you know, our broadcast is not, because right now we're going to take a short break, but then we'll be back for the Plasma Track Victory Lane post-race show. You're watching the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esport Network.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
Welcome back to GSRC and the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show, coming your way via the greatest invention since the sock slider, the iRacing Esports Network. Hey, if you're struggling to find something for the person who has everything, I have the website for you. Plasma-Tracks.com not only produces original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsports fabrications are also available. I could try, but my words could not do justice to the uniqueness of their wares. You know, the only way to fully appreciate their artwork is to see it for yourself. But be warned, one visit, and the next thing you know, you'll be trying to convince your spouse why you need a Plasma Tracks wall art hanging in your home. See it all at plasma-tracks.com. Use the promo code LRS2018 to get 25% off your order. And now I'm going to give you 100% of the HPP finishing order for the No Name Racing Grand Prix at Montreal presented by First Medical Equipment. Yes, indeed. I told you that he had won 5 in a row, 5 out of 6 road courses this season. Well, let's put one more on there. 6 in a row, 6 out of 7. The win goes to Adam Blocker. The man chasing him in the points loses only a little bit of ground. Andrew Kinsella, even though he was 22.7 seconds behind. Dandy Dan Guerin qualified fifth, up 2 spots into third. James Krahula, well, he started 4th, and that's where he finishes. Connor Harrington, we talked about it in the pre-race show. He is fast, but can he get the car home without a mistake? Not today. He has to settle for 5th. The battle between the rookies. Justin Weaver, the Moby's Dickey machine, could not pass him on the track. He had to do it via the pit stop. It worked. Weaver gets 6th. Stefan Larkamp settles for 7th. Michael Goodman watched him the back half of the race, settles for 8th. Once again, Tyler Graff stays out of trouble, qualifies 6th, come home 9th. Another good points day for Graff. Samuel Ryman, he was in 10th the whole time. Early pit stop strategy, he gets a top 10. Adam?
Yeah, going into 11th position, we find Isaiah Dupre. And then Isaiah was the last car in the lead lap. First car, 1 lap down, Jason Galvin, Pierre Daigle, Dustin Wardlow, Brian Yazek. That's your top 15 cars. You saw a little bit of action there in the last lap between Yazek and Chris Lanini. Chris Lanini let Yazek back by in a gentleman's move. Bob Mikas in 17th, Christopher at 18th, Joe Brach 19th, and Scott Johnson in 20th.
Then we get down to the driver in the blackjack position. It is George Anzaldo. Ron Hacker after him. Then the car's 2 laps down, Bart Workman, Big Joe Hassard. Paul Jenkins in his debut comes home in the quarter-century position. Matthew Mercer, Tony Schowen, Ed King Tutwiler, 29th is Robert Blue and Scott Bolster in 30th. And the last cars out there. Joe Canigan Flanagan, 30 laps down, ran into early trouble along with Bolster. Brian Beard, Mark Cohen, and Dylan McKenna all had trouble. There you have it. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to our winner now. That would be Adam Blocker. We'll bring Adam down into the booth. And I did not listen to what I was told, and I shut the door on Adam Blocker. Now we bring him in. Okay. Adam, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you about this one. They don't pay points for the amount of interval between you. Man, you had it just on rails today.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about either. There wasn't really much. It was kind of after the first lap. It was kind of, plain sailing after that. I think the scariest moment was, number 1, turn 1, where Connor decided he was going to try to win the race in turn 1, and he scared me off the road and scared Kinsella pretty bad too. And then from there, Kinsella kept up with the lead pretty well for the first 4 or 5 laps, and after that, I guess I broke the draft with him and I was able to pull away slowly. And then after that, the main thing was just trying to stay out of the way of back markers, because they were definitely pretty confrontational or difficult to get around.
Yeah, pretty good track awareness. I wasn't even sure you actually saw Harrington make that move. Let's talk about back markers there. You had one spin happen right in front of you there in the second chicane there. I guess it's would be 8 and 9. No real scare for you though. You had to figure.
There were probably like 2 or 3 scares, no like major moments, but I think there was one time where I think Jenkins and Daigle they didn't really wreck, but they both went off in front of me in the middle on the back half of the track. But I just slowed down, lost a couple of seconds, and went on. It's nice when you have a little bit of a buffer, because then you don't have to worry about the guy behind you gaining time or anything. So I was able to just be calm and make it through.
Okay, I'll get you out of this one on a little advice. I know we have many more tracks to come here before the end of the season, but I'm telling you right now, you might want to spend a little less time on the tracks that are coming up. Make sure you're good for Auto Club, because that, I think, is where the championship's going to be decided.
Well, yeah, right now I'm just focused on trying to carry as many points as I can in Auto Club to minimize the possibility of a big swing, because Auto Club is probably going to be, really a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing, a lot of chances of things going wrong that are out of your control. So I feel like the next few races, Kansas Gateway and Road America, it's a little bit in everybody's control more than Auto Club. And so, yeah, my goal is just to build as much of a cushion as I can, so that in case something happens out in the club, I can still pull it out.
Sounds like a smart plan. All right, good luck the rest of the way. We're getting to the end. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Sue.
Adam Blocker, our winner today. Okay, Adam, who you got?
Yeah, we'll pull in Andrew Kinsella and talk to him. Hey, Andrew, second place finish, having a great season. Tell us about your ride out there today.
Yeah, that was probably the best road course race I've had in Lionheart. Can't believe that I was able to qualify in second place. That was definitely more than I could have hoped for. And then I saw Connor going sort of full send into turn one and was able to avoid the spinning car there. And after that, just settled in and it was a good solid race. I knew I didn't have the pace to get to Adam, but hardly anyone ever does. So I just sort of settled in, waited for Dan to start reeling me in, but it never really happened, and just sort of was on my own for the most part. Only had a couple of moments where I was starting to lose traction on the rear end, but other than that, it was a real solid race.
Now, Adam had mentioned a little bit about the lap traffic, and of course, Montreal, real hard to get around lap traffic times. Do you have any problems out there that maybe we didn't catch on the broadcast?
No, in fact, I would say that the lap traffic was really, really good for me. They were pulling over in really convenient spots for the most part. There was a couple of close calls down in what is that, turn 6-7 area, the left right coming onto the sort of the backstretch there. But other than that, no, it was pretty good. The only moments I had was really racing with Weaver and Larkamp there, and that was more of my own making, just the back end stepping out there.
All right, one last question. We got 3 ovals coming up and then one last road course in a few weeks also. How do you think about your chances of being able to catch Adam Blocker in the championship?
I'm still hopeful. It's definitely going to be tough, especially when he's reeling in the wins, as he tends to do on the road courses. Definitely the fact that there are 3 ovals and 1 road course helps me. The double points helps me. And we did what we had to do today and kept it close. Got some bonus points for leading a lap even. So definitely happy with the result today and still optimistic about the championship on the season.
All right. Well, hey, good job here today, Andrew, and we'll see you here in a few weeks.
Thanks, Adam.
Second place finisher there was Andrew Havakech Kinsella. Now I'll talk to Dan Guerin. My goodness, 7 top 5s in a row. Dan, you got another one. Nice going.
Thanks, Soup. That was not an easy race. I told my teammates that I pretty much screwed up every single lap, and I just wasn't comfortable the whole night.
Wow, you wouldn't know it from watching. You look pretty smooth out there. You led a few laps. You ran the thing long.
Yeah, I just did what I could and held on.
Okay, I haven't done the math yet, but you look close enough to me that if you continue with the streak you're having, at least you'll have a mathematical chance when you get down to Auto Club. Any thoughts about maybe stealing a championship? That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind stealing it, but you got to have bad luck going their way, and we got coming up, and well, Blocker pretty much dominated the road courses this season, so I don't see him finishing anywhere less than first for them. But as far as like Kansas Gateway, I've won at both of those. I've run at Auto Club, so I've won all 3 races for the ovals we have left. I feel confident enough to at least maybe get second or try to get as close as I can anyways, but it's not going to be an easy road.
Well, I'm going to get you out of here on this one. Look, you've had your fair share of bad luck yourself, so if a little bad luck goes their way, don't feel too guilty about it, okay?
Oh, I won't feel guilty at all. But, just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors here, Midwest Simulations, Lock Precision, and let's see here, it's Sim Racers for Mental Health. So check that one out on Facebook there. It's a pretty good group of guys, it sounds like.
All right. Congratulations on another podium here. Keep it going. Dan Guerin, your 3rd place finisher today. And I think that's going to do it here for us on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esport Network. We apologize to the drivers we didn't get to. We're running a little bit late. So let me go ahead and thank the people that make this possible. And I'll start by thanking everybody at the Lionheart IndyCar Series for what they do. And how about First Medical Equipment? They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service. Adam?
Yeah, and of course, don't want to leave here without mentioning Butt Kicker, great supporter of both the Lionheart Series and Lionheart Retro Series. Butt Kicker products add instant immersion to any game. Unlike a subwoofer that moves air and loses accuracy and force, Butt Kicker products move actual mass, producing a haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. Butt Kicker products add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism and immersion to your sessions. See all the family of Butt products at thebuttkicker.com. Use the promo code LION20 to get 20% off your order.
And how about HPP Simulations? Get this. They are awarding a Formula Racing wheel valued at just under $1,500 to the season champion. The list of features is too long to mention during this closing broadcast here, but check it out at hppsimulations.com. HPP, designed to go fast, built to last.
And of course, to contact any of the sponsors you see on the screen right now, go to LionheartRacingSeries.com. Click on the 2018 sponsors, read or scroll to the bottom, where you can click on the company logo.
On the screen right now are just some of the companies, equipment, and software that made this broadcast possible. The iconic music that let your ears alert your eyes. You're watching a GSRC broadcast come courtesy of Eric Eckelm and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them.
And then the Lionheart IndyCar Series is going to turn it in only 1 week. That's right, folks. 3 races in 3 weeks. And the middle one next week, November 14th, for the 4th annual GSRC Big Joe Show Spectacular from Kansas Speedway. It's going to be a fun one. GSRC and the iRacing Esports Network will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Sliding across the screen now are some upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it all at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at /GlobalSimRacing Channel. And if you're not already a GSRC YouTube channel subscriber, you can become one by heading on over to the YouTube channel page and hitting that subscribe button.
And finally, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Adam Young, our director Amjad Jaman, and our camera artist Becky Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun, storm of the castle. Congratulations to Adam Blocker for picking up yet another road course win. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.